This movie assumes you understand the basics of the Freya fight already. Freya hard mode is more about control and surviving than it is about DPS. The Elders add the following effects. Iron Branch increases the physical damage dealt by every mob and lets Freya cast roots. These roots keep their target immobilized and deal high damage at the same time. She casts 3 at once on 25-man and 1 on 10-man. Bright Leaf increases the magical damage dealt by every mob and lets Freya cast Solar Flare, a high damage nuke. Stonebark increases Freya's physical damage and lets Freya cast Ground Tremor. Not only does Ground Tremor deal a large amount of unavoidable AE damage, but it interrupts spellcasts and will cause an 8-second lockout for any player who doesn't cancel their cast. The hard mode fight has significantly more give potential than easy mode does, as all the damage sources are increased. It also forces your healers to interrupt all their cast time spells simultaneously whenever Ground Tremor is cast, and it requires more DPS target switching each time roots spawn, which reduces your overall raid DPS. It's absolutely critical that roots and trees die quickly for the entire fight, roots especially. Every raider needs to take responsibility for them and not just let others do the dirty work. The lasher phase is the easiest of the phase 1 phases once you master it. We choose to clump in one point at the bush near the river. An alternative strategy is to stand in 5 clumps in a tight circle. This can be safer if people move slower out of unstable energy, but has a slight cost of roots being harder to kill and some lashers potentially missing some of the AE damage or even the taunt by your tank. If unstable energy beams come, then everyone moves about 10 feet inland and continues on as before. If any trees spawn during this period, the range must kill them. Melee running out will move lashers. Roots will just die from all the AE already going out. When the lashers get low, someone must AE taunt them and move to the river while the raid moves in the opposite direction. You will want 2 stuns to finish off the lashers as the AE taunt is wearing off. Shockwave, Shadow Fury, and the Water Elemental's ranged Frost Nova all work. Chain the taunt and the 2 stuns so they overlap to gain the maximum amount of time with the lashers as unmoving as possible. The taunter does need to leave after the first stun goes off, otherwise he's likely to die. If your stuns fail, don't panic. You have time to carefully single target down the lashers, but it will take restraint and control. Some tips. Tilt your camera so you can see unstable energy coming. Keep the raid together at all times no matter what, and use stuns to keep the lashers in place after the taunt. On 25-man, Snap Lasher must be kited with either a Frost Mage or a Death Knight with Chains of Ice. On 10-man, he will stay rooted as long as you constantly DPS him. Snap Lasher is currently slightly buggy, and, even if he's not rooted, may swing at someone in melee range. All range should stay away from him at all times, and melee need to be aware of where he is and swing away from him. We call on Vent when he's in the melee camp. For the Water Spirit, we use a single rogue on interrupts with a tank and 1 more DPS helping to kill him and back up on interrupts. The rest of the melee kills Storm Lasher, who is tanked by our Freya tank. 2 interrupters rotate interrupts on Stormbolt, with 1 single person in charge of stunning him about a second before Ground Tremor is going out to prevent him from casting Lightning Lash during the tremor. It is vitally important that no other players and no pets stun Storm Lasher, since stuns have diminishing returns in PvE. Depending on which DPS finishes first, melee or ranged, assign them the bulk of the work on roots and trees. The Conservator is often the hardest phase due to give potentials and the randomness of mushrooms. We have Hunters and Destruction Warlocks assigned to hunt out trees and roots, with others helping if they are nearby. Fury is a big killer in this phase. Our rules are that, on 25s, you stand in the middle of nowhere if you have Fury. Even if you think you see a safe mushroom, don't take it. Someone else is probably on their way there shortly. Healers stand at the far edge of the mushroom if they have Fury, or out in the middle if possible. If you die to someone's Fury, it's still your fault unless you were rooted. If you see someone not moving, get out of there. They may be rooted or asleep, but either way, there's no reason for you to die. Roots combined with Tremor can be a quick death to lower health classes. This is the best phase to use your immunities and your health cooldowns. Aura Mastery used on Concentration Aura will prevent you from regaining the silence from Conservator, although it won't remove it if you already have it. We chain this whenever it's available. We also use Bloodlust on our second Conservator phase for the DPS boost and to help increase the heals per second. There is many different Phase 2 strategies as there are guilds killing Freya, but after a bunch of experimentation we've settled on what we feel is a very strong one for 25 man. The raid clumps tightly on Freya, with hunters standing as close as possible and never standing in the movement path of the raid. Each time seeds go out, we check for roots. If roots are up, everyone stays still in AEs and then moves out together. If everyone waits, you can get out of the roots in time to avoid the seed explosions and have no deaths. Don't wait for a call to move. Pay attention to root timers and seeds, and just move to the next tanking location when appropriate. You always know where it will be. If roots aren't up, you move to the next location in the tanking triangle. Tree, tree, bush. Roots are always the highest priority, then tree for the ranged if it's up, and then Freya only if there's nothing else to do. It's possible a tree will spawn out of reach of the raid. This is why we use 3 points in our path rather than 2. You can either move ahead or backwards, whichever is safe, to get in range of the tree. Then you can just wait until seeds to move back to where you were and continue in the normal clockwise direction. Remember, pets will spawn seeds, so warlocks and any hunters with ranged pets need to keep their pets at their sides despite the DPS loss. The enraged timer in Phase 2 is very, very forgiving as long as people stay alive and stay clumped. Seeds spread all over will kill your DPS, both literally and figuratively. Thanks for watching! Visit our Road to Algalon page for more strategy tips and other hard mode videos.